Hello guys, hope you're doing good, hope you're doing great. In today's video, we're going to talk about the human anatomy. In this video, I'm going to be more spontaneous. I don't have a script that I'm following, and this is my own decision. I had a script, but I wanted to be more authentic in these videos. So let's get started. So the first thing that we need to know about the human figure is that it's composed of 12 systems. We have the respiratory, the digestive, the nervous system, the skeletal, the muscular system, the integumentary system, the endocrine, the reproductive systems, male and females, and we have the urinary system and cardiovascular system and the lymphatic system. These 12 systems work together. Each one of them has different functions, but they work together to give us this human figure that gives us so many functions. Let's start with the nervous system. So the nervous system, we have two. We have the central and the involuntary system. The involuntary is like digestion. We don't choose to digest our food. We don't say, I want to digest the food that I ate yesterday. No, it's, let's say, an automatic, systematic process that happens in our body because we have involuntary system, nervous system. We have the central nervous system, such as when we move our hands. This is I want to move my hand. So this is the central nervous system. However, we have also the parasympathetic and the sympathetic nervous system, which are the parasympathetic works when we are in a state of rest, calmness, where your heartbeat, your heart rate is going down, your blood pressure is going down, you are resting, there's digestion, and everything is normal. However, the sympathetic system is activated when there is a situation of danger and high stress. Then your heart rate goes up, your blood pressure goes up, the pupil dilates, the digestion can be stopped because when there is a situation of fear, your body tries to prioritize the organs that needs the most the blood. As an example, if there is a situation when you have to run and it's very dangerous, your body will prioritize your muscles that helps you to run. So the digestion at that point, it's not necessary, it's not important, so it might stop. There is other changes that happens to the body as well, such as the saliva. It changes, the structure changes, it becomes less fluid, it becomes like honey structure. And when we talk about the blood vessels, it gets constructed, etc. Now when we talked about fear, we talked about the muscles that gets involved in running, right? So that is called the muscular system. So the muscular system is also an elemental, essential system in our body. We use it to move, to do certain stuff that we control, and yet other things that we don't control. Because there is three types of muscles. There is the skeletal, which are the muscles that are attached to the bones. We have the second type we call the smooth muscles. As an example, in the stomach, before the stomach, we have the stomach and we have the esophagus, right? There is an easy way to explain it. It's like a circle, right? It's a muscle, right? It's a smooth muscle. When the food comes in, it opens, and when the food is in, there is no food coming, it closes. So this is just a simple way to explain it, right? And we have the third type, which is the cardiac muscles, which is the heart. However, each one of them is different in terms of the components, how it is. There is even different controlling systems that we talked about. As an example, the cardiac system, we don't control the heart. No one controls the heart because it's involuntary nervous system. In the other hand, we have the skeletal muscles that we control. Everyone controls when they run, when they jump. That's because we are controlling the skeletal muscles. In other way, it's controlled by the central nervous system. And now let's move on to a system that is always linked with the muscular system, which is the skeletal system. The skeletal system and the muscular system, both combined, they make a system called the locomotor system. The locomotor system is the system that gives us mobility. So bones plus muscles equals mobility. There is 208 bones in the body, and there is 3 types of bones: the long, the short, and the flat ones. Moving on to the digestive system. The digestive system is also composed from different processes. We have a process that is in the mouth. We have a process which is the movement from the mouth to the stomach. Then we have the stomach. Then we have the intestines and the colon or the big intestine. And then we have the elimination of the food. Each part of these has different mechanics and chemicals that gets involved, so we can digest different types of food. As an example, saliva is very important in digestion. It's composed from 99% of water, and there is other components that help us digest the food in the mouth before it gets to the stomach. And one of the main foods that gets easily digested in the mouth, which is sugar. Complicated sugar, gets digested to a simple molecules of sugar in the mouth before the stomach. In the stomach, of course, the process goes on. We have the acid gastric, etc. And none of these systems that we have said, none of them has the largest organ in the human body. Imagine, not the muscles, not the bones, not the digestive system, the largest skin in the body with 2 square meters and 22 feet square feet with 3.6 kilograms, which is the skin. Or the integumentary system, which has the skin, the hair, nails, sweat and oil glands, etc. So the skin, it's mainly composed of 3 layers. We have the epidermis, where we have the melanin, which is responsible about the color of the skin, plus the production of the skin cells, as well as giving us the protection, from the mechanical physical threats, so as it's waterproof. Underneath the epidermis, we have the dermis layer that aid in the sensation because of the neuroreceptors that are there. Then we get into the hypodermis, which has the fats. It's not fats, it's adipose tissues. We can say fat between us, but it's adipose tissues. It links the dermis with the muscles and the bones. Moving on to the respiratory system, which might be familiar for most people because it's something that we need to do very constantly at a very high rate. The main organs that gets involved in respiration, we know the mouth, the nose, we know the lungs. There is other things that gets involved, such as the pharynx, the larynx. The larynx is the voice box, and we have here the trachea. This is the trachea, which is the first one. The first one is the one that gets the air in to the lungs. Behind it, there's the oesophagus, which is the food one, and that goes to the stomach. While this goes to the lungs, where the lungs, we have bronchi, we have alveoli, which are the places where there is the gas exchange between the lungs and the blood, gives oxygen and gets carbon dioxide, which is CO2, that we exhale through respiration. So it's a very unique process. Also, it protects us. There is a humidification. There is also thermoregulation. So when you eat something cold, or if you inhale cold air in the winter, as an example, it gets warm when it gets to the lung. It's not just like how it is, how it goes in, how it goes out. And you can experience this. If you exhale, you will find that your air is usually warmer, especially in the winter, because it gets regulated in your body. Also, it gives us protection from microbes, from dust. We have hair in the nose and in the narines, etc. And we have also some micro hairs, which are not micro hairs, just for explanatory purposes. It's called the cilia, which is in a certain type of of cells, we have the cilia that protects us from dust and microbes, as I said. And we have also the mucus that also protects us and does the same process. Talking about protection, the defending mechanism of human beings is the lymphatic system. So it works such as, let's say, police of the body. But their work is more complicated, it's more different. It's adapted to what is the thing that got into the body. So if it's a bacteria, if it's a virus, if it's something else, and each one of them has different processes, different procedures to deal with it. And also it's present in almost all of the places. And one of the places that most people know is the tonsils. So when you have swollen tonsils, probably there a defending mechanism, let's say. Probably a virus, probably bacteria or whatever. It can be different things. Immunity reaction. And one quick note that I would add, which is, I think it's pretty interesting, which is there is something that calls immunodepression, depression, immunity depression, which is the immune system or the lymphatic system. It's depressed, so it's not very in the best of states. And this can be caused with mental health issues. So if someone is going down, he has a bad morale, he is depressed or whatever, this can be a reason. And you might have noticed that if someone is stressed, he has anxiety because of exams or family issues, he's easily can get sick for different reasons. So now moving on from defending to one of my favorite systems, which is the urinary system. So the urinary system is not as big as the other systems, but also it's so essential. We have the kidneys, we have I have no idea what it's called, man. The urinary system gives various of functions, such as blood pressure regulation, the filtration of blood, and making urine in the process. And this happens in a microstructure. It's called the nephron. So in the kidneys, there is millions of nephrons. In each one of them, there is the process of filtering the blood. And while filtering, it goes through different steps in the nephron. I'm not gonna go in depth here because they're detailed and this can get you confused, but there is a filtration of the blood, and there is the production, let's say, of urine. This is a very simplified way to say it. Talking about blood, we haven't talked about the cardiovascular system, one of the most popular systems, let's say. Of course, it's composed mainly of the heart and the vessels. We have the arterias and the veins. Of course, they're different. The arteria is the ones that carries the blood from the heart to the organs, while the veins gets the blood from the organs to the heart. The veins are the one that you can see here in your hands, the blue ones, in here, etc. There is more than one that you can see, and they are superficial, while the arterias are usually as not superficial as the veins. Of course, the heart is a very fascinating organ, subhanallah. As we said earlier, it gets controlled by the involuntary nervous system. In the heart, this is a very interesting, I don't know, it's very difficult to explain. But the process is that it gets blood in, it pumps it out to the organs. This is a pretty simplified way. There is two circles. We have the big and the smaller one. The smaller one is related to the lungs. So the lungs give the oxygen through the blood to the heart, and then the heart pumps it to the other organs of human being. Of course, blood is composed of different components. One of the functions of the blood is, of course, nutrition, giving oxygen to the cells. So as clotting, if there is a slash in the skin, there is something called clotting factors, which is it's a process. It's a pretty process. I'm not very qualified to teach it to you, but let's say that the blood has a very essential role of the clotting that happens to you. We have the reproductive systems. I'm not going to talk about them. Probably another video. I don't know. And that's it. This is the longest of my videos. I filmed for over half an hour now. So I hope that I've helped you today. I hope that you got something about the anatomy of humans. Even if you didn't know anything, I hope that you got a few ideas. I've tried to simplify it as much as I can based on what I know. My knowledge is limited, of course. If you are highly educated and you think that I've made a mistake or two, tell me. If I've made 10 mistakes, tell me in the comments. Teach me, please. And teach me the things that I don't know, that I haven't said in this video. And if I made something complicated or appear complicated, it's my fault. Everything should be simple. It's not something that you should be scared of. So yeah, this is the end of the video. Always remember to heal, inspire, and teach. See you in the next one.